Hi everyone, I'm with Sanjana Chappalli. This is recorded a few days after our 5-day challenge, which happened last week. So today I'm going to be asking Sanjana a couple of questions, really, just about her experiences of the challenge, the results she experienced, and why she's chosen to continue her learning, I guess. So if it's okay with you, Sanjana, we'll talk about Sanjana a little bit afterwards as well, but I'll just go straight into the questions, really. And the first one is, what attracted you to the 5-day challenge, which was all about writing LinkedIn posts to attract clients?
I was connected to Pam Case, your colleague on the challenge, and I had followed a couple of posts where she was sharing tips on LinkedIn, and that caught me by surprise because I'm not a LinkedIn newbie. I've been on LinkedIn for a few number of years, and I've also written extensively for other people for LinkedIn.
Okay.
But yet the tips that she was sharing were things that I didn't know about. So that was a good, there's something interesting. Now, of course, I don't think that I know it all, and of course, there's always something to learn. But the way Pam introduced it was very, very entertaining, interesting.
Yeah.
And I followed that post that I saw about the challenge to your profile, and I saw a couple of articles that you had written, and I could find myself shaking my head vigorously in agreement.
Okay.
Uh, So I knew then that I wanted to go into the challenge to understand what this was about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Well,
also like the fact that it was just 20 minutes a day. That's something that you were very, very precise and very open about. That was attractive too.
yeah, we did neglect to mention that we had an optional 1 hour live session, which some people tuned into as well. But yes, I guess without tuning into that, you can just basically dedicate 20 minutes a day to it, if that's what you need to do. I should also point out, and I'll ask you a little bit more about this later. Uh, I always feel quite privileged when we have an accomplished writer like yourself who joins in the challenge. And it's one of the interesting things to me. I've been involved in writing and marketing for many years, and LinkedIn is very different. So this leads me neatly into the next question, really, which was, how did you find the challenge?
Interesting, educative, entertaining, but also I found a community of people who are trying to figure LinkedIn out.
Yeah,
From an education point of view, look, I think everybody has something new to learn every single day, even though
yeah,
we've spent years on a particular platform. So it's always good to get out there and to hear other people's point of view and perspectives. So I found I learned a lot on the challenge. And I can't agree more. Writing is a skill, but writing for LinkedIn is a different skill.
yeah,
And I think
exactly.
we big, differentiation there. I can be a marketer and a very successful marketer, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I understand everything about LinkedIn.
Sure, yeah,
And I definitely don't. So I came into the challenge with an open mind to try and understand what I could get and how I could leverage the platform better. And I'm also clear about one thing that I think LinkedIn is a tactic, it's a tool. It has to be a larger marketing strategy around anything. And while I'm trying to understand the strategy, I'm also trying to get the tools then. So I found it very interesting and very educative, even though, like I said before, I've been using LinkedIn for a while.
yeah. No, understood. Okay, well, let's dig deep into. I'm interested in finding out what sort of results you experienced both during the course, and I've spoken to a number of people who've continued to post on LinkedIn, and maybe anything that you've done on LinkedIn afterwards.
So let's look at results from two perspectives, right? Let's look at the metrics.
Yeah.
Some of my posts have done very well in the sense that the views have gone up,
Okay.
both during the challenge and after. I have been posting after the challenge as well. But I
Okay.
think the other metric, which is equally important, is the conversations that I'm having on my posts.
Yeah.
I think that's deepened. I'm finding that a lot of people I've not talked to for years who've been on my profile, who've been part of my community, my LinkedIn community, surfacing up again to have those conversations with me. So it's been phenomenal. I did not expect the views to go up. I didn't expect the conversations to go as deep as they are right now. And I think the third one that I want to mention is finding an entirely new community of people. Some of
Yeah.
the people I've met on the challenge, some of the people I've been introduced to on the challenge, they've been very interesting. It's shown up a different point of view completely to me.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the interesting points, which always tends to happen when you bring a group of people together. LinkedIn, when you talk about the algorithm, many people get a bit frightened about that, but the algorithm really is a reflection of what real people do. So when people start to converse on LinkedIn, it starts to show your content more mutually. So you start to see the people you've had a conversation with much more in your newsfeed.
Yeah.
And I think it really is a reflection of the way the real world is. So if you do go to networking events, you kind of have to act in a way that you would there. Like at our networking event, the worst thing you can do is immediately introduce yourself to somebody, and within the next breath, you're pitching your services. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
But when you start to have a conversation first, it builds the relationships and the foundation for future business, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm going off on a tangent. And you subsequently joined our masterclass, which starts in a couple of weeks' time. I was just wondering, what prompted you to, I suppose, extend your learning?
I learned enough to want to know more. I learned enough
Yeah.
on the 5-day sprint to want to know more. I have the time right now. And second, I'm sort of pivoting in my career where I want to focus a lot more on building my own portfolio. I've been doing it so much for other people and all my clients that
Yeah.
I've never gone ahead and looked at my own portfolio and deepening my own presence. And I think now is the time to do it. I joined the masterclass because it's a combination. It's going to be a combination of understanding as well as actioning it immediately. So it's not just a masterclass that operates in a vacuum, but I would be able to try and to test things immediately as we go on.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, enough about this. What about yourself? Because as I mentioned before, I've seen your profile and I've seen some of the work that you've done through your website, and I feel quite privileged that we've got a really accomplished content writer and story writer, I think, and it'll be a privilege to have you on the course. So
thank you.
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've got about 19 years of experience as a writer and as a marketer, and I've worked across in different agencies. I've worked within independent agencies. I've worked, within a media organization, an independent media organization, and finally where I am right now, which is working as an independent consultant. Usually, I work with clients in the financial sector or in the technology sector. These are the two main sectors. But I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of interesting companies and a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting journey. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Well, I'd really urge everybody to maybe connect with Sanjana, and just below, wherever I publish this, I'll probably include your LinkedIn URL. So please connect with Sanjana or check out a website I have, and I love some of the stories that you've told, and that really reflects the value of the work that you do. So,
It's a work in progress. There's a lot more,
yeah.
a lot more that I need to do, but it's a start. And we're all at a time right now where we need to get out there and we need to
Yeah.
take ourselves seriously. So we have the time, we have the opportunity.
Okay. Well, Sanjana, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on the masterclass. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. I don't think you're as excited as I am. So thank you again. Thank you for everything you and Pam do.
Yeah. Thanks once more. Thanks, Sanjana.